Good morning and welcome back. Sorry we're going to be a few minutes late today coming at you. Um, had a busy day yesterday. Didn't get home till real late, which I'll explain briefly. Here in Indianapolis, of course, we have 500 weekend. There's a racing memorabilia show going on at a town about an hour from me. I went down to it because they were having some autograph signings. We'll talk about that stuff tomorrow. That's going to be kind of our Indy 500 themed video that we like to do every year here, because obviously tomorrow big racing day, but today's a big wrestling day. I believe AEW and WWE have pay-per-views. We've WWE, of course, Saudi Arabia, AEW. I really don't watch it that much anymore. I have a couple friends that text me and tell me stuff. Every once in a while I might see something online or what have you, but I don't have a lot of time to fit it into what I do. So we're going to open up our other box of AEW cards that we've been holding on to for a while, just to kind of, excuse me, kind of keep that going. Now, when AEW was formed a few years ago, I thought, okay, this is going to be interesting. And I'll be honest, for the first 6 months to a year, it was a little hokey because they really didn't have a lot of star power. I mean, you had Jericho, you had Moxley, you had a couple others, but once they started getting some talent on their roster, they have a little bit of homegrown talent, and they have a little bit of talent from other areas that became bigger talent because of the way they got used. Here's our odds. Of course, this is an Upper Deck product. We don't open a lot of Upper Deck stuff on here. This is going to be interesting to see what we pull. Of course, I did get lucky and find these out in the wild last year. Maybe early this year. I don't remember. It is 2022. It'll be interesting to see. And, of course, all the information on the pack is on the box, because we're 2 minutes in, and all I've done is flex my jaw. So we're going to go ahead and I know got Orange Cassidy there, one of the more popular stars. Billy Gunn. Brian Pillman Jr. We have our first parallel, Taz. Another parallel, Daniel Garcia. I'm going to take a look at the back of that one. Make sure it's not numbered. What do we have here? Main features. We have Sting. So that's a nice little insert. Go to Adam Cole and Lee Johnson. So I have heard of everybody in this pack. I really don't know who the champions are. I believe MJF is still champion. But the thing that one of the things that kind of made me go away from it is the hype was that they weren't going to be so much like WWE. And to me, they're exactly like it. The show is very predictable, and you're going to have an opening interview, an opening match, the way the matches fall. So Ortiz, he was part of Jericho's group for a while. Oops, wrong stack. Which was, I can't even remember what his group was called. I know they feuded with the Pinnacle briefly. Excuse me, Dustin Rhodes, Pac, Paul White, Gold, Dustin Rhodes, main features. Ooh, breakouts, Nick Jackson. I don't think... Ooh, that's a clear card. That's pretty interesting. And that's kind of creepy. But we'll put that over there. And MJF. One of the other things I don't like about AEW and WWE right now is way, way, way too many belts. You need a primary, a secondary, a women's, and a tag. It's not a thing where everybody gets a belt. Good old JR. Very nice. Might have to send that TTM. GT, or QT Marshall. Excuse me, Ray Phoenix. Reminds me a lot of Ray Jr. Kyle O'Reilly. Then we have a main features gold of Max Caster. Justin Roberts. I got his book. I need to read it. I got a ton of books I need to read. It's just telling my brain and my body to, hey, take a day, just relax. Start reading. Malachi Black and Penelope Ford. We get our first ladies card of the day. and the other thing that AEW does that WWE doesn't do as well is on-screen consistency, where you might see a wrestler in AEW, for example, Butcher and Blade, you might see them for 2 weeks in a row on Dynamite, and then all of a sudden, you don't see them again for 2 or 3 months. So, excuse me, Dax Harwood. I guess he had a really good podcast, and they kind of made him shut it down. Sean Spears, here he wants to retire soon. Parallel. UD Canvas, Powerhouse Hobbs. We have a blue debut dates, Christian Cage. It's a nice card. Not numbered, but nice card. Ty Conti. The Acclaimed. I really like this team. I really think they would be big, or will be bigger. And Kyle O'Reilly once again. And these are really nice cards. I really appreciate them. I think Upper Deck did a good job in the presentation of these. So we have Jamie Hayter. Now, I think she's women's champ, but I understand that she could be really big star. Jake Hager. The Bunny, which I didn't get this character at all. Bryce Rimsberg. Parallel. Pac, main features, or Pac. Bryan Danielson. Thunder Rosa. And Daniel Garcia. So we got, 3 more cards to go. Or 3 more packs to go. Sorry, you can tell I'm doing this as I just get up and my brain is not with it today. Nyla Rose. Double A, Arn Anderson, who hasn't aged since 1981. Wardlow, he could be a huge star. Jurassic Express. Miro, who, I don't know if he's come out of hiding yet or not. Powerhouse Hobbs. A base of Bryce Rimsberg. And Hook. And if you don't know, Hook is the son of Taz. And I think Hook played, I want to say he played professional lacrosse for a while. Because when he was in college, I remember hearing Taz talk about it on a podcast a long time ago, that his son was really into lacrosse and was going to school and playing lacrosse in college, but I don't know if he went and played professional for a while. And Helico, who was part of, I can't even remember the name of the tag team. They seemed to do pretty good for a while. Riho, I think she was the first AEW Women's Champion, or one of the first. Stu Grayson. Excuse me, Ruby Soho, who, I want to say, I know she's from Indiana. I know she wrestled in either South Bend or Lafayette, or she's billed from Lafayette. There's Hook once again. Britt Baker, one of the bigger stars. One of their not really homegrown stars, but she was in NXT WWE for just a cup of coffee, but pretty much used as a squash enhancement talent, if you will. And she is a legitimate dentist. Evil Uno and Scorpio Sky. I think they could have made him a really big star. I think Scorpio could have been really, really big. Now, our final pack, are we going to get a hit? I don't think we're going to get a hit. It'd be cool if we did. But no guarantees in the blasters. And here we have Varsity Blondes. Hikaru Shido. She was a women's champion for a minute. Dante Martin. I know him and his brother, they pushed them for a little bit. Upper Deck Canvas, Dax Harwood. It's a nice shot. Lance Archer. They really, raised his stock. He was in WWE for a minute. This is the only one I'm not familiar with. What's that say? Ryo Mizunami. They may have just used her briefly, but I don't really remember. And then Private Party. Jim Cornette, on his podcast a couple years ago, said this is the junior high version of the Street Profits. I thought that was one of the best quotes that I'd heard in a long time. And then Cash Wheeler, the other half of FTR. Probably the best tag team right now in all of professional wrestling. A lot of great inserts, a lot of great parallels. As creepy as the card is, I like the way this card looks. I like the acetate, the clear card look. I don't like when you flip it over that he's still staring at you. I think they could have just, used this marbleized texture and put some text in there. But still, I like the design. I like the idea. It's a super cool card. Not a big fan of the Young Bucks, but still a super cool card. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Like I say, tomorrow we will show you the items that we picked up at the Indie Memorabilia show and show you the autographs and such that we picked up. We didn't get a lot, but it was still a fun experience to go down there. They do have it going on today with a few other drivers. But like I said, it's a 90-minute round trip at the very least. And then you got all the time spent down there, and I don't want to spend any more money. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we will be back later today with our events and birthdays. Thanks for watching.